All right, there it is. We're starting the stream.
Let's go.
Again, I tried going for my glasses. Episode three of this podcast. I said stream, didn't I? I meant podcast.
Yeah, you did say stream.
Episode
It's
three.
the same thing.
Today we're gonna be talking about Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. We don't have the normal amount of people here. We just got me and Joseph. So today we're just gonna be talking about Amber Heard, maybe a little bit about the Texas school shooting at the elementary school, and perhaps some other stuff that we decided to talk about. We may have other people join us later in the stream or later in the podcast. We'll see about that. So we'll go ahead and start this video here.
Okay, let's see what this one's about.
Amber Heard.
See what happens.
Yeah, I might have to put this up a little bit.
This testimony without anybody in the courtroom. Understood? Good. All right. Your next question.
Is it good volume, by the way?
Yeah, that's good.
Last week, I showed you an audio where you told Mr. Depp to tell the jury, tell the judge, tell the world that he is a victim of domestic abuse. Do you remember that?
That's correct.
And you testified you found it hard to believe that Mr. Depp would tell the world that he's a victim of domestic abuse, didn't you?
I said I find it hard to believe that he would do that knowing that he himself had beat me up for 5 years.
But he has told the world that he's your victim of domestic abuse, hasn't he?
Well, he started to say that only recently. He didn't make that claim up until very recently. So when we signed our divorce agreement and we signed a statement saying that neither party had ever said false claims for financial gain, it was relevant and important to me because I was the only one making the accusations. I was the only one making those claims. He wasn't doing that at the time, and he signed his name to it.
You didn't expect as many people to show up and testify on his behalf that did you?
Incorrect.
When you told this jury under oath that you never assaulted, actually, strike that. When you told this jury under oath that you punched Mr. Depp because you thought of Mr. Depp pushing Kate Moss down the stairs, you didn't expect Miss Moss to agree to testify that never happened, did you?
Incorrect. I know how many people will come out of the woodwork to be in support of Johnny.
So you think Miss Moss needs to come out of the woodwork to testify for Mr. Depp?
Everybody who was around in the 90s and the early aughts knew that rumor. I had heard that rumor from multiple people. Of course, that's what flashed through my head when my violent husband not only swung for me, but all of a sudden swung for my sister. Of course I thought of that. I did not expect her to show up or not expect her to show up. It didn't matter.
Can we pause real quick? Just right here.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking hate, like, who is she looking at there? Like, who is she looking at when she's talking? She's talking to the jury, right?
I think
Like
so.
the people on the side. I just don't like that at all because it's like she's trying to manipulate almost.
Yeah.
Like we know that she's just a super manipulative person. That's what we've been seeing throughout this entire court case, is that she's just super manipulative, and like you see it here. Ah, man, what do you think about that?
I mean, I can think of the one clip where she's all like, what's it called? You know, she's on the court or whatever, and then she goes to like wipe her nose, and she's just doing the.
Oh yeah.
For a half minute.
Yeah. Just to get the picture, right? Dude, okay. Yeah. I was seeing on TikTok that like whenever she do that, she'd like snap it a little bit, and like apparently like because there's cocaine or some shit. I don't know if that's true though. Like I think people are just a little bit like they go a little bit too far.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That'd be crazy if there was there. No, I don't think there was.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. So
all hyped up in the courtroom.
So in that video, because in the first couple like court cases though, like court like what would they be like I don't know, questionings, I guess. Like she was kind of tweaking a little bit. Like she was like, you know, where she was like, my dog stepped on a bee.
Oh yeah.
Or some shit like that. Like what is she doing? Like why is she making all those facial expressions? So I was just confused. But it's clear here to see that, you know, she's already like she's been trying to manipulate the jury from the beginning, I feel like. And she's kind of passive aggressive almost, where she says that they're coming out of the woodworks, right?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Woodworks. Coming out of the woodworks. I want to search that up real quick. I want to just understand, what does woodworks mean? Woodworks. So
I don't know what that point is trying to be. The woodworks part. I just think it's kind of funny how she was in in the beginning she just said like, oh, I I think she said something about like I couldn't have done anything to hurt him, or something
Yeah.
like that. I
Okay.
forget the beginning, but it's like,
But
yeah, come on, chopped
so
finger, poop on the bed, come on.
so apparently the woodworks is um the activity or school or skill of making things from wood. Or no, it's oh, it's something that emerges from obscurity to be revealed. So it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like okay, like it just kind of came out of nowhere, I guess. It's like it's basically her saying like, okay, like what Kate Moss said. Have you seen Kate Moss? What she said, pretty much.
No, I have not.
So basically, she was like, so basically, in Amber Heard's testimony, she claimed that Johnny Depp pushed Kate Moss down the stairs.
Yeah.
And she said her name, and so basically because she said her name, now the Johnny Depp's
She's
team
part
can
of it.
now Johnny Depp's team can use Kate Moss testimony, and Kate Moss basically said that no, like that never happened, and so and now Amber Heard's like, no, that's wrong, it actually did happen, and it's like, how can
Yeah.
like that doesn't add up. You can't just say that. Like you first of all, you
can't
have
just make
recording,
stuff up.
and the person that you claim got pushed down the stairs is literally saying that they didn't get pushed down the stairs. So it just doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. But you can continue it if you want. Yeah.
I was just gonna
Or
say
go
one more
ahead,
thing, which was I just like in the clip you can see too when it comes to like Johnny, he looks confused when she's like, no, there's rumors about it. I heard people saying it in the 90s and stuff, and you can see him go like, what?
What?
What are you talking about?
At this point, she's just pulling for strings.
She's just trying to get
When we were
people's
on the
feels.
stairs, and I thought he was going to kill my sister by pushing her down the stairs.
What?
Jury under oath.
It, like okay, hold on, go back.
Hold on.
Do you look at the way like just a little bit, like go maybe forward once.
Oh yeah.
Okay, like right there. Just watch this. Watch how she looks back
I
at
believed at the
Camille.
time when we were on the stairs, and I thought he was going to kill my sister by pushing her down the stairs.
You told
Do you
the
see
jury
how
under
she?
oath in this
Oh my god.
aggressive and traffic
Okay,
trailer.
okay. Just pause it real quick. Just pause it.
Yeah.
So the way she looks back, like the way like she's like so like the way that she's like, okay, yeah, boom, I nailed it. Like I hate that so much because it's
Yeah.
like you're making a fool of yourself. Like you base. I guess the problem with this stuff is like they can't see the social media posts about them, right? Because she
Yeah.
is making a mockery out of herself, and I feel like she'd understand this if she was looking at the at what people are talking about her online. Because
Yeah.
holy shit, like she's always just making a fool out of herself in everything she does. Like she is not winning this case. I hope she understands that. I hope
I
she
don't think she
understands
is.
that.
No.
I hope that
She's
she
trying
does
really hard to win it though.
I know,
hope she
right?
doesn't,
Like
yeah.
god damn, with the pictures and
I just-
everything. Like come on, man.
Yeah. Just feel bad for Johnny Depp.
You didn't expect the manager of the Hicksville property, Morgan Knight, to come forward and testify that that was untrue, did you?
Incorrect. I've already been through trials with this man. I know how many people will come out in support of him.
When you told this jury under oath that you had no idea that the paparazzi would be at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, you didn't expect a TMZ employee to show up to testify that TMZ had been alerted that you would be at the courthouse and knew exactly which side of your face to take a picture of, did you?
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. Is I was speaking to that phenomenon. How many people will come out in support of him and will fall to his power? He is a very powerful man, and people love currying favor with powerful men.
Currying
And I know
favor
that
and
firsthand. I've
risking
lived
jail
it.
time for committing perjury?
Excuse me?
Oh my god, wait, pause it.
I didn't hear you.
And
She
then-
changed right there.
Yeah, and then go back one. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just talk about this, right? Let's talk about what just happened there. So, what the fuck did she just say? Johnny Depp is a powerful man. So many people are just gonna come out and, dude,
Yeah.
is she? I think she's a little. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, let me take a
She's
step back.
trying to say she's like he's threatening them to do all this, or like
I don't know, but I think she because what she said is the reason she wrote the op-ed was because of that phenomenon. Like if Johnny Depp were to have some kind of special power that charms people to be on his side. Now, I can kind of understand like where she may be coming from with like when you see all the social media people are siding with Johnny Depp, but I think it is the
Yeah.
truth, right? Like I think what she's trying to do is she's trying to manipulate off of pity and just have people pity her and be like, okay, you know, I'm the one that's been doing wrong. I understand that this is how Johnny Depp is. I understand that people are going to be on Johnny Depp's side because he's just this person that has powerful magic or some shit. It's like, no, bitch, this isn't Fantastical Beasts. This isn't the fucking movies anymore. This is real life. All right? Like, this isn't the fucking movies anymore. Like, let's come on. Like, wake up. God damn.
Plus, if she's wanting this power, she should be, like, I don't know, nice to people around her. Because it just seems like she's just not good with people, like, around people. Like, I heard the reason why she got kicked off the Aquaman movie was because her and
Jason
Momoa didn't have a... They just weren't a good mix. Like, they didn't have good chemistry, I guess, you know?
Oh,
they just weren't... He just didn't like working with her, you know?
Right.
But, like, everybody that talks about Johnny Depp's always like, oh, I liked working with him. He was very nice, and he did all this. Maybe it's just because of the TikToks I've been getting, but the only things I've seen is just people been like, yeah, she's kind of weird.
Yeah, so, like,
like
it's kind of like,
her.
it's just been, you know, like, it's been shown time and time again that she's just manipulative, and she's not a really good person. People don't like her. I mean, it's kind of fucked up what she's doing. The fact that she's blatantly lying just to save face. I mean, after this, it's over for her. Her career is already basically declining, so GG's.
Yeah. Didn't she lie about the op-ed or whatever it's called?
Yeah, so I guess they already called her out on that bullshit because now she's blatantly admitting to it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that she's like, okay, well, I can't really win that case anymore, so I'm just gonna be saying that I did write it, but I wrote it for apparently a phenomena that it's a magical power. Like, what the fuck? Like, goddamn. At this point, she really is like just, you know, trying to grab any straw out of the fucking bucket that she can get, pretty much.
Trying her best.
No time for committing perjury.
Excuse me? I didn't hear your question.
You didn't hear my question?
Ms. Vasquez, if you do mind, please just repeat the question. I didn't hear you.
Curry favor and commit perjury.
Oh, no way! Oh, damn. Wait, let's watch that part again. God damn.
I didn't hear your question.
You didn't hear my question?
Ms. Vasquez, if you do mind, please just repeat the question. I didn't hear you.
Curry favor and commit perjury in this courtroom?
I have seen people do this.
Man?
I have seen people do this time and time again. That's why I wrote the op-ed.
You didn't expect Ben King, the House manager in Australia, to show up from England. He flew from England to testify that Mr. Depp's fingertip was found exactly where he said it would be. Did you?
I have never heard Johnny testify to knowing where his finger was, or really, frankly, making a claim that he knew where it was when it was found. I've never heard Johnny claim that.
You didn't expect Keenan Wyatt.
Johnny has never actually said that.
Ms. Heard.
And
I think the jury can. Ms. Heard, there's no question pending. You didn't expect Keenan Wyatt, Mr. Depp's longtime sound technician, to show up and testify that Mr. Depp is not being fed lines through his earpieces, but instead music, did you?
Not that it matters much, but of course I did. I know how his employees treat him.
So you probably,
I know how his team treats him. Of course I expected that.
Okay, so you probably expected Isaac Baruch to come and testify for Mr. Depp, right?
I'm not sure I thought about that.
Yeah, but you didn't expect Mr. Baruch to weep for Mr. Depp after what you've put him through and so many others with your lies.
I relate to Isaac because he and I are the only ones who have cried on this stand.
Nothing further.
All right.
Damn! Oh my god, dude, that attorney is such a savage. Like, holy, that attorney is such a savage. Like, I must just say, she is so savage. Like, that was fucking insane. Like, the bitch is still talking. Amber Heard was still talking, and she was just like, no further questions, Your Honor. Just she didn't give a fuck. And Amber Heard shut up. She shut up. She was made a bitch right there. She was made a bitch. God damn.
The part I don't get is she was talking about how Johnny Depp wasn't making a point about the finger thing, which I've heard him talk about it multiple times on the court case, which I don't get. Where he said like his finger's been chopped off and all that. I don't know if he said the exact place or whatever, but I've heard him talk about it. And I think I've heard her just say like, "No, that's not real. That didn't happen."
Because I guess I don't have video proof of that happening.
Yeah. So
like they can't really like prove that it happened as a result of Amber Heard. It's really just testimony at that point. And it's a word. It's like it's word for word. So, or I guess it's like his word against her word. So you know you can't really.
Yeah.
But there's so many other things that are adding up about, or that aren't adding up about Amber Heard's story, and like basically what Johnny Depp's attorney here is doing is just calling her out on it, and it's just like goddamn, like dude, Amber's getting destroyed. Like she's getting absolutely obliterated. She just got a nuke dropped on her right there. Like holy. GG's, like that's one of those like 30 kill nukes on COD like lobbies.
Yeah,
right there,
Modern
basically.
Warfare. That's a fat Nah, yikes.
I guess kind of skip through this last part if we find that there's anything good. Or is that kind of it?
And I don't blame him.
Like if there's
don't know.
here, well let's see if it's good or not.
Johnny, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him for crying. This is horrible.
Ms. Vasquez has suggested that you faked bruises on your face. Is that true?
Absolutely not. I didn't need to.
Did you ever fake an injury caused by Mr. Depp?
No.
Is any of the evidence of your injuries that has been put to the jury in this trial fake?
No, absolutely not.
And to the extent that there may be some confusion over when a picture of spilled wine was taken, why might that be?
Objection,
Because there's so
lack of
many-
foundation.
Overruled.
Because there's so many incidents of violence. There's so many pictures. There's so much evidence. Most people don't have this kind of evidence for years, 5 years. And when I was saying that to Johnny on the phone in that recording, I was saying for years this has been going on. And I have pictures, we have texts, we have everything. Normally you don't get this amount of evidence. That's what I was pointing out to Johnny. It would be crazy to try to challenge this in this way. It's crazy. It's easy to not know the context of a picture of spilled wine because there are so many more important details, pictures, and also so much I didn't photograph, so much I didn't have the presence.
Objection,
behind the
non-responsive.
document.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Okay. That 1 minute was kind of had a lot in it, I'd say. One,
It did.
the bruise thing, that kind of, I don't know. I remember hearing something about how, she said, oh, I didn't fake my bruises and all that. But I remember seeing a clip on TikTok where she pulled up makeup or something and it had like, bluish colors. And I think she accidentally called it her bruise kit or something.
Yeah.
Something weird. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
So, yeah, I mean, it's basically Amber Heard's job to try and make everything seem like as, like basically try to get everybody on her side. Like that's kind of what she wants to do. And like she's over here saying like there's years and years of evidence, and the reason why she told Amber Heard Johnny Depp. So here's the thing that really bothers me, because in the clip where she says to Johnny Depp, like it'd be crazy for you to even take this to court because she actually said like because you're a dude, you're a man, and domestic abuse against a man, like that's never anything that a man wins or that a man does, because it's like you're supposed to be a man, like grow up kind of shit. Like that's what she was saying. And so now the fact that she's switching it up and saying, oh, because I have so much evidence and like it wouldn't make sense, like it's almost like, damn, like you're always just lying out of your ass. I feel like she's just always lying out of her ass. Like, it just doesn't get worse. Like it just gets so much worse. Like god damn.
Plus, it seemed like, I mean, maybe it's just because of like how she was feeling, but it seemed like she kind of got overly emotional, I guess, with that part. And she like looked at the jury and was like, for years and years, I've been telling them,
She literally went like for years and like made it like super expressive, right? And then when Johnny's attorney was like, objection, Your Honor, whatever, and then the objection was overruled, she did literally the same thing, like with the same expression, instead of like why did you just have to add that much emphasis to the like character, to the it's almost like she's playing like what is this, a fucking movie? Like I swear, like she's just acting, like she's just doing an act at this point. Like it's just like, yeah, maybe this is a movie. Like maybe this is a social experiment done by the government here. Like this is a conspiracy theory. This is a social experiment done by the government.
Dude, they're showing this to us because they're building bombs. Trust me, that's what's really happening right now. Oh my god.
Did Mr.
It's just
Depp
weird.
abuse you physically?
Yes.
Verbally?
Yes.
Emotionally?
Yes.
Psychologically?
What the
Yes.
fuck are you?
Be careful, be careful. Don't cry. Don't cry.
Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna feel really bad about this if like she was actually like if some of this shit is true and like she was you
Yeah.
know sexually emotionally like in any way shape physically abused. I will feel bad like about laughing about this because I'm not gonna lie, like right here, like the fact that she's crying about it, like it's just kind of it's to me it's a little bit cringe because like if none of that happened and she's really going as far as to cry about it.
Yeah.
Maybe part of it is true, like maybe we don't know like the full story, that we don't get to see that, so maybe like some of it is true, like she was maybe emotionally you know hurt or whatever, but like I
Yeah.
feel like it was worse on Johnny Depp's side from what we've seen.
I think so, yeah. No, I mean, there's no way he was like nice all the time, you know. There's no way he was just like, oh yeah, yeah, you know, just being all quiet.
We saw the video
I-
where he was like where he got angry. Like, have you seen that video where he was pretty angry?
where
So
he's
like,
like slamming the cupboards and all that.
so we know that he's like somewhat aggressive, and but I feel like Amber Heard doesn't really care. Like the
Yeah.
fact that she punched him and shit like already shows
Cut
that
his
like
finger and
he-
all that.
she kind of knew that he wasn't really going to do anything in retaliation. She kind of
Yeah.
knew that Johnny Depp wasn't going to fight back. And so what she did is she took advantage of that as an opportunity to strike him and manipulate him and damage him. I think that's what it was. I don't think that, you know, there's like, I don't know if Johnny Depp really like abused her in any shape or form. I think that,
I don't think so.
yeah, I think she's just kind of
Verbally
using that.
or emotionally, there's a high chance probably,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, verbally.
Like, there's no way you
definitely.
can't do that for like years, you know.
Yeah,
You might
verbally,
slip up, do all that.
definitely, like definitely verbally, but I feel like the way she is, she's much more of a manipulative person than Johnny
Yeah.
Depp. So she kind of already has played this game before, where they can just kind of like strike back at each other and like verbally and shit, and she doesn't really care. I mean, she literally
Yeah.
fucking hits him. Like at that point,
Yeah.
like she does not give a fuck about verbal
No.
damage or whatever. All right.
Doesn't. You think we keep playing this one, or should we go to the
I'd say
next
we go
one?
to the next one. Yeah. Let's go to the
Okay,
next
alright.
one.
We've already seen a bunch of that one, so.
I had just been attacked on my 30th birthday by my violent husband.
I was worried. I was worried for her physical safety.
I hear crashing and banging and smashing, and he starts screaming like an animal.
He knows he's lying. Otherwise, why can't he look at me? I survived. I survived that man, and I'm here, and I'm able to look at him.
He's just a jealous man, controlling. Where are you going? Who are you going with? What did you do last night? I had a scratch on my back once that got him very, very angry because he insisted it came from me having sex with a person who wasn't him.
During the time that you were in a sexual relationship with Mr. Depp, was it common for him to say things to you about being controlling, to use your words, or being jealous of you?
Yeah, very common.
And when, in these instances, when Mr. Depp became jealous or controlling, did he also become angry?
Yeah.
I'm at the top of the stairs with my back to the stairs, and that's when Johnny runs up the stairs. And again, I'm facing Amber. He comes up behind me, strikes me in the back, kind of just somewhere over here. He strikes me in the back. I hear Amber shout, "Don't hit my sister." She smacks him, lands one, and then he grabs, at that point, that's when Travis runs up the stairs after Amber landed one. But by that time, Johnny had already grabbed Amber by the hair with one hand and was whacking her repeatedly in the face with the other as I was standing there. Travis pulls them apart. I get Amber into mine. I close the doors behind me and lock them. I then hear Johnny's voice shouting.
Never mind, withdraw. Okay, sorry.
I hear Johnny's voice shouting, I hate you. I hate you both. You. And I hear crashing. I hear crashing and banging and smashing, and he starts screaming like an animal. And I then just moved Amber into the next room and I just kept her there all night. At some point I heard the back door open, or the back window open, and Johnny is holding our dog out the window. And I froze. I was scared because I just remember thinking, I knew how inebriated he was, and and the dog was very small. I thought if she twitched or, you know, if he lost her somehow, she was just going to go out the window. He brought the dog back.
All right, just
into the
skip this
car.
part.
Yeah.
I get, like, it's Amber Heard's sister, you know, she's gonna be
Yeah.
on her side. So is this all about essentially Amber Heard's side? Can we look at the comments real
think it
quick?
is.
Can we just look at the comments real quick?
Yeah. This is what guilty people
Wait,
do.
what? Hold on, but they're all talking about Johnny Depp, like, still, like, being on Johnny Depp's side, right? So maybe there
I
is
think
something
so,
about
yeah.
Johnny Depp. I just didn't really care to hear about the sister's point of view, to be honest. It's the sister's point of view. It's so, like, of
I
course
think
she's
so,
gonna
yeah.
have Amber Heard's side. So just go back up and maybe play it. Let's see what everybody else has to say.
Towards the end, when the physical abuse was more evident.
By the way, who the hell is that?
I'm guessing it's his ex-girlfriend. I don't know.
Okay.
I was worried that when he turned,
Yeah.
he might accidentally do
Actually, I don't
something
know.
that was worse than he ever intended.
Okay, this might be
It
it.
was during these cycles of violence in 2012 that you gave Mr. Depp a knife as a gift.
I gave him a knife, I think for a birthday present early in our relationship.
We've seen a picture of that knife, but I think we should bring out the real thing.
Yes, that's it.
That's the knife you gave to the man who was hitting you, right, Miss Heard?
I wasn't worried he was going to stab me with it when I gave it to him, that's for certain.
Isn't it true you just edited these photographs?
No, I've never edited a photograph.
Didn't you just enhance the saturation for one of these photos to make your face look more red?
No, that's incorrect. I didn't touch it.
Your testimony, this was a love journal?
That is correct. It was primarily love notes and,
And apology notes from you to Mr. Depp?
The book was more of a love note book, and part of that communication, obviously, since we fought so much, it was important for me to, try to nurture as much peace as we possibly could. And when things were good, they were really good.
I hate that you're hurting. I love you
Okay,
more than
we
anything.
just skipped this video.
Let me prove it.
There's
Yeah.
not much, like, meat to this bone, I would say.
Nothing really to say.
Yeah, like, there's just not much. Like, we kind of already talked about this. I don't know, like, maybe if you, like, try to skip through, let's see what else happens. Like, just kind of skip through it a little bit.
Because he's guilty.
I kind of want to know if what's happening is true. Like the fight thing. I don't know. Like the only thing I've heard about it is from this video. The knife wound.
About,
I want to know if that's real. Also, if like there's any evidence of that.
About the knife?
Yeah, because she said she got stabbed from it.
No, she said she
Did you?
didn't. She didn't. So she didn't get stabbed
Oh.
with it. But but like, so the reason why Camille was questioning her, I'm pretty sure, is because, like, why the fuck would you give your abusive ex, or why would you give your abusive husband, right, when that hits you?
Yeah.
Why would you give him a knife? It just doesn't add up. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like, why would you give your abusive husband that you're scared of because he hits you repeatedly,
Yeah.
give him a knife when you know that he might harm you with it? In this case, because he's abusive, right? So, like, that's
Yeah.
why she was questioning her. That's why she brought it up. And so, I believe Amber was like, at the time, I didn't think he was going to stab me with it. Just to say, like, okay, like, I gave it to him because I didn't think he was going to. But, like, if he was being abusive to her, then why wouldn't you think that he was going to stab you?
Yeah.
I think that was, like, the point she was trying to make there.
Oh, okay. I thought she was saying like, oh yeah, he did stab me or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think she got stabbed.
Lying. Otherwise, why can't he look at me? I survived. I survived that man, and I'm here, and I'm able to look at him. Thank you.
Mr. Depp hasn't looked at you once this entire trial, has he?
Not that I've noticed, no.
You've looked at him, though, many times, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You know exactly why Mr. Depp won't look back at you, don't you?
I do.
He promised you you would never see his eyes again. Isn't that true?
I don't recall if he said that.
No, we'll never see each other again. You won't don't take my glasses off. You don't like looking at not my eyes? You will not see my eyes again.
At one point, he ripped the top of my shirt. I don't really remember what it was, but I remember I had a breast exposed. At some point, I pull at his lapel of his shirt, and he rips the shirt off of him and wraps it around my neck. And that's how I woke up. The next morning, actually, I woke up with it still around my neck and with a giant knot in the back of my head.
Did you commit any kind of prank?
Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not.
And why would that not be something you would do?
First of all, I don't think that's funny. I don't know what a grown woman does. I was not also in a pranking movie.
What? I feel like that was like almost like I don't know. I feel like she did do it, right? Because like the way she was like reacting, like almost like it's almost like she was trying to react like dude, why the fuck would I ever do that? But like almost like okay, like I think you did do it though. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's like, no, dude, I would never do that. Like try to act super serious about it. But it's like I don't know. I feel like I just don't know. I feel like she's lying about it. Like from the way that she's reacting to it. I don't know.
She kind of sounds like a 12-year-old. It's funny to me. It's not that funny. I don't know why I do it. It's not that funny.
It's not that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I would
like,
never do it.
Like it's almost like she's trying to like really save herself here, but like, dude, Jesus Christ, we all know you shit on his bed. Like, come on, man.
I never did that. I would never.
And I had just been attacked on my 30th birthday by my violent husband with whom I was desperately in love and knew I needed to leave. It was not really a jovial time, and I don't think that's funny, period. That's disgusting.
I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not deck you. I was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are your toes?
What am I supposed to do? Do this?
How are your toes?
I'm not sitting here about it, am I? You are.
Oh,
that's the difference between me and you. You're a baby.
What that conversation is about the disparity. The disparity between Johnny and I in our physical fights, the disparity of how he would proactively punch me and I would have to resort to reactively hitting him. I am talking about the difference between a punch, which Johnny did often, and me having to hit him in my defense. They had used a body double. Unbeknownst to me, without my permission, they used a body double to do a sex scene. So I have an incredibly jealous man who already is upset with me for breaking the rule that I had a sex scene. On top of that, I'm telling him it wasn't me. I didn't shoot that scene. And you can imagine how upset he was. He was irate and was calling me a liar, a whore, among other things. And we had that combined with the fact that I had even entertained doing this job that involved James Franco was a pressure cooker. I called it a week of hell.
Damn. So, okay, so that was, okay, so I guess the way, I want to talk about a couple of things that happened there.
Yeah.
I kind of got caught off guard though when she was talking about the jealousy part, and that's what I focused on mostly.
Yeah.
There was one thing she said before that though that was pretty good. What do you think about that? Like, what moments from that were you like, okay, that's.
I just thought it was weird how because they play the audio and you can hear her go like, "You're being a baby. I don't know why you're crying.
Right,
I
right.
didn't even punch you. I slapped you. You know, it was all that." And she was. I thought it was just weird how she went. We heard that, and then she went, "Oh, the reason why I said that is because he would punch me a
Yeah,
bunch, and
dude.
so I
So
would fight
that
back."
I still don't understand that because she's saying that he would punch her a lot, but it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense though because the bruises that she's shown on the pictures that she's showing to the court, like the bruises that she's had, they haven't been that much. They've been like that little bruise. If
Yeah, it was
he's
just
been
kinda tiny.
proactive, because she said he's been proactively hitting her,
Yeah.
and so I feel like if he's been proactively hitting her, she would end up looking like Rihanna after Chris Breezy with like one night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
sorry. Okay, I shouldn't be laughing,
No,
but like, you know what I mean? Like, okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me just come back down. Okay, sorry about that. Domestic abuse is really not a joke, but
No.
I'm being serious when I say that. Like, if Johnny Depp was proactively hitting her like that, I feel like she would have like ended up looking something similar to like that. You know, like looking a little bit
Swollen,
worse,
got
swollen,
bruised and
like
all
bad. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where it's like, holy shit, like, okay, like
The way she
that's
makes it
bad.
sound
Like
like
that's
it
bad.
should
I think. Wait, hold
be
on.
like
Let,
that.
let me just search up, or you can search up, I guess, so we can both see it here. Like search up
Yeah.
on Safari, like Amber Heard like bruised face, or some shit like that.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, I'm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
It's mostly just like right here. That's all
yeah,
I'm saying.
it's like
Is that like the one image?
it's like what, like I guess she was only hit in one place then, right?
There's this eye, bruised eye, but
I mean, I feel like okay. Now look up Rihanna.
Rihanna, bruised face, I guess also. Yeah. Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like this is what I'm saying.
Jesus.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it would be a little bit more. The way she's saying it, like, oh, he was so abusive. He would hit me so much, and he had rings on his finger, too. By the way,
Yeah.
he'd always have rings on it. So it's almost like having the metal, like race fucking knuckle.
Oh
thing.
yeah, brass knuckles.
Brass knuckles. Like that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it just her story doesn't add up.
Doesn't like this is sad, you know, to see. This is horrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
With her, it just seems like there's not really that much. This kind of looks edited right here. This photo. I mean, there's just one bruise on her cheek. It doesn't seem like a bruise you get from like a punch or anything, you know? I don't know. The way
Yeah,
she makes it
it
sound like it
literally
sounds
looks like
he
a
would beat her
rash.
constantly. Yeah.
That one looks like
But-
a rash. Like maybe he smacked her once, and I mean that's like
Yeah.
that's like maybe that is pretty bad. But like the fact that she's saying it like he hit me constantly and proactively, he was so abusive, and it's like I don't think so. And maybe he hit her in retaliation to what she was doing. Like she was
Maybe,
like
yeah.
beating the shit out of him. And let's look at Johnny Depp's bruised face.
Yeah. I don't remember how to spell Johnny. Okay, so we got on the cheek, on the eye. I think that's it, really.
So okay.
Yeah, I think that's it. I
And
think
he
this is
also like got his fucking finger chopped off too, so
yeah.
that's
I don't know
really
if I want to see
bad.
that.
No, we don't want to see that. Just right now, something we
Yeah,
can
we
show.
want to show it.
So like, wait, I think I'm getting calmed. Am I? No, I'm not. Okay, so like, yeah, it's pretty bad, as we can see. There's not enough. Like, I don't know if she like actually got hit to the point where it's like, you know what I'm saying, like where it'd be obvious. We can go on to the next video. if you
Yeah.
want.
I'm guessing, is it this one? Yeah, it's. Oh wait, yeah, no, it is the lawyer one. Here, hold on. Second. Let me close my door real quick. Okay, sorry. Here we go.
Okay, you know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't it?
Objection, Your Honor, argumentative.
I can ask that question.
Overruled.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in a target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
A little argumentative, don't you think?
Oh, hardly. I find that to be purely logical.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So yeah, he fucking clapped back. He was like, "I'm not taking your shit, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm not taking your shit, bitch." And I'm saying like, God damn. So after that, like, she probably won't be what the fuck? Is that Tom Hank? Or I mean Hank from
Hank
fucking
Schrader, yeah.
what is it?
Judge of this. Dude, why am I getting this? Hold on for a second. That's weird. Dude, nah. That's
Wait,
weird.
what?
Yeah, I
Go
don't
back,
know
go
what
back.
that was.
Oh shit. No, but it's just the
my
murder of an American Nazi. It's kind of bad to have up on the screen.
Yeah,
We're
it's
not
kind of bad.
endorse. We're not endorse.
Censor.
We're not endorse the Nazis here. Okay. There's not much to talk about that one. It was just kind of a funny clip.
Nah,
really.
it's just funny. Yeah, she was just like, "That's not argumentative. It's good." And then he clapped back, and she was like, "Nope, don't do that.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to
she
do
was
that."
like, please don't clap back at me like that. And
Yeah.
she was like, just clap my cheeks after the.
Don't do that again, but okay.
All right. What's this last one? Okay, this last
This
one.
is the-
So this is the Russell Brand one. So this.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna. Okay, so we're gonna go into a little bit more of a serious domain. So this one is about the shooting in Texas in the elementary school.
Yeah.
Where it's very serious. Some children were killed. I think 2 parents were killed. I think it was 7 children. I'm not really sure. Which is kind of it's kind of like I feel like Russell Brand talks about this really well here, and this is why I wanted to bring this up because he actually makes really good points about like how the nation should deal with this and what they should start thinking about in order to move to like the next steps to move forward from this, because I don't think we can stay in this fixated place where these things are just happening, where it's okay to have school shootings every fucking like so and so. Like this has been going on for the last 2 years, I believe. Or I mean,
No, it's been like
more,
10
right?
years.
Columbine, right?
Yeah.
We talk about Columbine.
Columbine, all that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just been.
It's just
I guess
horrible.
it kind of like stopped for a little bit, and it just keeps coming back. And so what we're starting to see is like there is a problem in this nation, and we have to address it. And it's not something that we can fix through a biomedical. Like we can't fix this through fucking medicine. We can't fix this through politics. We can't fix this through these kind of things. What we have to understand is these are psychological problems. These are mental health issues. It's so much more. It's like so much deeper than what we've given it credit for. It's just so many layers to it. Psychological problems, and this is something I've learned from my health class. It's not something you can fix through a biomedical model, which is what we use, and it's what's funded the most, right? Sociological, psychological, and religious, spiritual problems and issues, they cannot be fixed through a biomedical problem because it doesn't emphasize or address these problems that we cannot see. Medicine can fix problems and it can fix physical like pain, problems with your tendons, problems with your muscles, but psychological mental problems, it's so much more extreme or so much more complicated because it's internal problems that must be addressed by the person himself, which is why psychedelics could be introduced and why I might address it. But it's just, it's so much more intense. And so yeah, if you want, you could say something about that.
I mean, I don't know. It just seems like like when they give you medication, it's just to like numb you. It's just to kind of dumb you down. I'm not trying to sound all conspiracy theory, but like I'm pretty sure that's what it's mainly supposed to do. It's kind of hard to control the brain. I don't know. We still need to do research on it. It's kind of hard to do research on the brain, because I don't know. It's on a human.
It is, and
because each one's different too.
And it's because there isn't like a direct I think the reason why is because there isn't a direct like cure for brain mental problems, and so like you can't really address it. Like I said, and there's things like psychedelics, religion, spirituality that actually help with these problems, because I feel like what happens is people have a nihilistic outlook on life, as in they like see the world as this dark place that is just full of violence, full of, you know, just terrible things happening. We there's no purpose in our existence, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and do the terrible thing to other people, because my life doesn't matter, their life doesn't matter, this life sucks, I'm just gonna go and do terrible things. That's because of their nihilistic outlook on life, and that's something that needs to be addressed by the person themselves. They need to it sucks that they've seen so much terrible things, and I don't want to get too deep into it until we see this video like halfway through. I think halfway through is good, and then we can talk about it. So if you want, you can you have your last like I guess points, and then we can go into the video.
I was just gonna say, I think the reason why people have those like looks and stuff about it is because just what social media does, you know? Like, you know, everybody has like these buff people and like having the best time of their lives, and how, what's it called? You know what? I'll say this in the middle of the video because I kind of want to.
I know what you're talking about, because they kind of like compare themselves to these people, and so they compare
that, and then
it's like
news,
they're comparing their everyday lives to the highlights of some of the most rich, influential people in the world that have absolutely probably a really great lives, and on Instagram that's highlighted even more. It's like the most spectacular part of your fucking day. And so your normal day is being compared, your normal shit day, 9 to 7 job, whatever, is being compared to a person's life where exotic fucking Lamborghinis, fucking yacht, whatever. And so you're like, damn, my life is so shitty compared to these people. Which is not true at all, man. We're not supposed to be comparing ourselves to these people all the fucking time. You know, that's so sad.
If you think about it, nobody posts like I mean, maybe a little bit of people, but most people don't post like their bad like side, you know, of like, oh yeah, I don't know. Everybody tries to post like the best time of their life,
part,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
They try to show the good parts of like what they're doing just to show like, oh yeah, look at me. And nobody really wants to show like, oh yeah, I'm depressed and all that, because they don't want to be judged.
Right.
I don't know, posting all that stuff.
Exactly.
Plus with like news and all that, you know, all they show is just depressing
stuff.
Depressing stuff. Like the robberies, war, killings, and all that. And it's just like, you know, like if you consume that kind of stuff every day, you're just gonna be upset, you know, and just be like, oh, you know, if everything's just this shitty, why should I care about, you know, being alive at all and trying to better the world?
One of the things that I think we should do as people is we need to really be conscious and aware about what we're consuming through our brain, like what we are consuming through our eyes. You know, what we decide to like take in, the information we decide to take in, it stays with us throughout the day. It stays through our subconscious mind, and it can take a toll on our mental health. So imagine if news was positive, and I get that there's news that needs to be said, there's news that needs to be told to people.
No, yeah, there is.
Because it can inform us about certain things that are happening. But when news is always just negative, and it's not telling you like, hey, you know, like you're a great person, you know, you're you know, you're capable of amazing things, and you know what I'm saying, you know, take care of yourself, you know, you're deserving of love, you're deserving of wealth, you're deserving of you know, great things. If news were also to give you that message, I'm sure things would be a little bit different, because everything that you take in, when it's just negative, you're gonna just see the world as a negative place. You're gonna see other people as negative people. You're gonna see yourself as a negative person. You're gonna hate yourself. Deep inside, you're gonna hate yourself because you live in this world that's so disgusting, so violent, and that's a problem. That's really a problem. That social media, that news, all that shit, it just enforces it more. It really explodes it. It kind of like magnifies it at a rate that we shouldn't be magnifying it, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Humans are fragile. They really are. But we want to be these, you know, we want to be machines. We're not. We're different.
We can't be perfect. Yeah.
We can't be perfect. Exactly.
No. Should I start the video
Yeah,
right now?
go ahead.
Okay. And I'm gonna walk away for a second, just real quick. So.
Okay. Bet.
You will be aware by now that 19 children and 2 adults were murdered in Uvalde in Texas in one of those school shooting massacres that happens
Wait,
in America.
go back real quick.
The severity of the...
Can you start it again?
Yeah.
You will be aware by now that 19 children and 2 adults were murdered in
19 children?
Jesus Christ.
I thought it was fucking 7. 19 children. Holy shit, dude. You can start it. You can start it.
Jesus.
One of those school shooting massacres that happens in America, and the severity of them is a wrench on the hearts of everybody who encounters the information. Of course, all of us will be reaching for answers, words of condolence, political solutions, social solutions, and I feel that since we've been doing this channel, this is perhaps the most awful event that's happened, and it's been a really strange few years that we've all endured together, but there's something particularly galling about the murder of children. A story of that nature defies rational explanation. Of course, we will try to rationally understand it. I don't think there's any rational way to deal with what's happened in Uvalde, Texas. I don't think that you can say it's one mentally ill person or it's a result of gun laws, although it probably is the result of one mentally ill person, and tighter gun controls and restrictions of access to firearms would obviously make a difference to the number of murders in America using firearms. But why are people so attached to the idea of firearms? Is it simply that there's a powerful American gun lobby? And if there is a powerful American gun lobby, which there's no doubt that there are, what is the emotional connection that people have to firearms? All of these questions perhaps can be put aside for a moment. I once heard Michael Beckwith, the American pastor and evangelical speaker of the trans-denominational agape movement, say on the occasion of Kobe Bryant's sad death, which he reported to his church. In this moment, he said, as he told his congregation and they gasped, we have a duty to put aside our own feelings and acknowledge that there are people directly affected by this. And if we hold them now in our minds and our hearts, they will feel it, because in the final analysis, all things are non-local. We are connected to one another. I have no smart political take to make on an event as tragic as this one. I'm a father, I have children, I can't even allow myself to imagine for a moment the depth of searing grief I might feel if I was subject to a trauma such as this one. I have friends who went and worked at Sandy Hook to help the grieving parents after the last comparable massacre of this nature. What I feel about this and how this fits into the remit of what we try to talk about here on this channel, in this community, is that we are evidently living in a culture that is in decline. Yes, you could blame an individual. Yes, you can blame gun laws. Both of those things are true. But do you not think that this is symptomatic of a deeper malaise that can't be ascribed simply to cultural and racial tensions, but something more horrific than that? That we have lost our vision of what we are as a culture, that we have lost our way individually and collectively, that we have lost our connection to nature, inner and outer, to God and to one another, that we are living in systems that prevent us from becoming who we truly are. If you have a nihilistic, empty, banal culture focused on rationalism and materialism, that you're just here for a short while, you live and you die, where is the room for the sacred? What do your communities mean to you? What do you mean to yourself? This guy that did this horrific, unimaginable act to these poor, innocent children, what kind of existence did he have? What kind of trauma had he experienced? I'm certainly not seeking to justify the actions of a person that has caused so much grief. And actually, of course, I don't need to justify it because I am merely a commentator. I'm seeking to understand how a culture can generate such trauma and misery with such alarming regularity. And if something occurs consistently and you can observe it consistently occurring, the condemnation of the individual, while an understandable part of the process, is not going to lead to a solution. I would not be so glib as to offer a practical solution, but if you live in a world where open debate...
Yeah.
Dude, isn't that heavy shit?
That's
like what he said right there?
Yeah.
I mean, like, so definitely like the whole event is like that's fucked up. Like you know,
Yeah.
there's not much you can say about it, but like what he said there was so heavy. Like the fact that like what he said about the systems. What kind of systems do we have in place that are making people miserable, and you know, to the point that they feel the need to do such terrible things? And he said, we're not trying to
Yeah.
justify the actions. What was done is so fucking horrible. It should never be done. Nobody should ever feel the need or desire to do
No.
that. And I don't think, and I think what people can say is like, okay, some people are inherently born evil, and you can argue that really, but like it's just, I don't know, like it's just so much. I think it's so much deeper than that, and it's fucked up. And I don't think that fixing gun laws, I mean, if you change gun laws, like it might fix it, like somewhat, but it's just, I think it's so much worse, man. And it's just, goddamn, like what he said though is so heavy, and I think it's important to address these kind of situations and to address them in this matter, and talk about them in this way, because what he said I think was fucking brilliant there.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about this, but like, it's just crazy to me how used to it we are, you know?
About
Like
that stuff, right?
it's just like it's happened so much that people have made jokes about it, like America's schools are not a safe place to go to, you know, which is a crazy thing to think about, you know.
Yeah, like we
It's
can't
happened all over.
normalize this shit. It shouldn't
We
be
shouldn't.
normalized.
It shouldn't be allowed to be
Like,
normalized, but for
if you
some reason
ask-
we're allowing it.
I think there was an interview where this dude went and asked like other people from other countries about what they think about or the United States, or what's like the first thing they think about when they think about the United States, and they literally said, you know, school shootings, dangerous schools,
Yeah.
because it's been happening for so long. Now,
The thing
go ahead.
I was just gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
the thing I don't get is why do it on elementary school
That's
children,
what I'm
you know?
saying.
I'm not trying to justify, like, you know, do it to people older, you know? I'm just trying to say, why do it on children who haven't done anything in this world, you know? Like, if you're hating on the people around you, like the people that are your age and stuff, you know, you shouldn't shoot anybody, you know? But it's just like, why just go, oh, I hate our society, let me kill children. I
Was
don't
it
get that.
a children that did it? Was it
No, he was 18 years old.
Wow.
That's how old he was. It's just like weird. It's just like he got out of high school or whatever. It's like, dude, you're starting your life. Why do this now? You know, why ruin your life by just causing massacre? You know, you
Yeah.
can do a lot more better stuff with like your anger and pent up stuff. You know, I just don't get why instead of people trying to find other ways to just find a way to make themselves feel better. You know, it's just like, let me do this, and people talk about my name for a couple of months and that's it. But it's just like, why? Like, if you want to be known, do something good. Why do something horrible, like ruin other people's lives? I just don't get that. It's just
Yeah.
horrible.
It's gotta be like it's gotta be like, they gotta come from such a nature of hatred and violence and just so much anger, wrath, and just all this ugly emotions built up inside of him. And it's so dark. And nobody was able to help him. And if anything, people were just further pushing him into this dark abyss. And it just caused him to do such ugly things. And we see this happen all the time. People do ugly things because ugly things were done to them. We're all just, it's fucked up. I'm not saying this to justify it. It's never about this.
Yeah.
I only say this because I feel like it's so much, like it's a bigger fucking problem that people don't see, and it happens all the fucking time. And we need to address the problem. We need to understand it for what it truly is if we want to prevent this from further happening. It's psychological problems. It's mental health issues. More money needs to be put into research about this stuff. Sociological, psychological, and mental problems like this shit needs to be more. It just needs to be addressed more. I hate talking about this, and I think a lot of people are scared to talk about this kind of stuff when things like this happen, because it almost feels like you're like justifying it. Like it almost feels like you're like saying like it's okay. It's like, you know, like it, but it really isn't. Like It's really like it's the bottom of it. That's like one of the worst things you could fucking do. Is strip people away from their lives before it's even fucking like before it's even started. Really, these are children from elementary schools. Like they did not deserve that. Like they did nothing to deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Like they had nothing in their lives besides like fuck. Like I just think that's crazy. And this is what I'm saying is like why does somebody feel the need to go that far? I really don't think that some of us are born evil. I think we're created to be evil. And that's what we need to like address. Some of us, I think some people are born like psychopaths, sociopaths, whatever. And so that's a different story. Like we're born with some different like, kind of health issues, mental health issues that still should be researched and understood a little bit better. But like, damn, like it's just crazy to me. Like that people don't see it for what it is. People don't see it for like, come on. I don't know. It's right there. It's in front of our faces and we understand it somewhat relatively. Like these things are created. These things are like obscurity. I mean, like this violent nature of human beings. We've seen this throughout history all the time, by the way. Yeah. But it's inherited. It's I mean not inherited, sorry. It's developed and created through your environment. It just is. If there's violent people around you all the time, you're going to be a violent person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just how it is. We understand how child psychology works somewhat. We understand how human psychology works. We understand that this is how things happen. We mimic things. Things that like we understand that like for example, domestic abuse that happens in your childhood, you're more likely to do the same thing that your parents did to each other or the parents did to you when you grow up. Normal. Right, because you think it's normal. So if this guy went and shot up the fucking school and thought that what he did was justified because of things that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he was done wrong, so now I'm going to go do wrong. He thought that was justifiable. He didn't think that there was anything wrong with that. That is just absurd. And that is something that people need to wake up to and understand that is a problem. That is a problem. And it's not going to stop here. It won't. And yes, absolutely. Like, you know, like, send your condolences to the families. Absolutely. Like it's got to feel so awful. That feeling. It's got to be awful for them. That they lost their children and they're not going to be able to get them back. And that's it. That's where it ends. And it's so fucking sad. It's so devastating. And I really hope that they can get like, man, it's just, that is really like the worst. Like you can't really, it's so hard to recover from something like that. Like when you lose your fucking children, like you had so much life to live for. You know what I mean? That is just the utmost worst. I don't think it gets worse than that, to be honest. But like, goddamn, like I think they need, man, I feel like they are the ones that need to speak up about this kind of stuff. Like, I feel like if they speak up about it, like people are going to listen to them. What do they think, you know, but it's just so hard because they're also going to be like emotionally driven to talk about this kind of stuff. And like, it's just, there's so much to this shit. And like, it's kind of hard to see that like our nation, like this is where it stands. You know what I mean? Like this is where it stands, and this should be a wake up call to people. Like understand that like there's a lot of fucking issues with this nation, with social media, mass media, etc. The news, fucking like god damn, like the systems, like it doesn't seem like we're getting any fucking better. It seems like we're at a standstill right now.
Everybody's becoming more divided each year.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. We can let's just finish the video and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about communication and transparency are lost, marginalized and maligned. People that are mentally ill and suffering and considering transgressive, egregious acts such as this one, acts of unimaginable horror, have nowhere to go but the most extreme places. If we have a culture where open communication is the norm, it will be less likely, perhaps considerably less likely, that people get all the way to action on something as extreme and malignant as this. Neither, might I add, is postulating on the nature of regulations around firearms, although of course less firearms, less murder from firearms seems like a pretty simple piece of arithmetic. I would invite you to contemplate the question, why is there so much fear? Why is there so much anxiety? Why is there so much suffering? This happened in an impoverished community, a community of 16,000 people, many of whom are living in conditions of poverty. I think we have to look at the way we organise society. I think that when you have centralised elite institutions that issue doctrine and dictates without necessarily being affected by the results of the decisions they make, it creates a kind of maddening, desperate society. This is symptomatic of a deeper malaise, horrific though it is. For me, it thematically fits in with the general breakdown of our society, with the ongoing conflict and conflagration. I don't think we should be looking to blame any individual or group for this horrific event. I think we should turn our attention to healing. On both sides of the cultural argument at the moment, people are full of sturm and drang and fury and condemnation. These people are to blame. These people are to blame. We're all participating in this society. One way or another, we've made our way here together. When considering the death of a child and what it must feel like to go through that, I know there'll be people watching this now that have lost a child, perhaps not in such dramatic circumstances, but with the same result, that you have to live life now having lost a child. I know that there are people watching because we interact with you on this channel and we read the comments and we know that you are enduring all sorts of horror. When you lose a child as an individual, it's understood that you have to go deep within yourself and find a way around that grief and agony. When we lose children as a culture, this is a time for reflection and circumspection. This is not a time for certainty. This is not a time for, we need to do this, we need to do that, these people need to shut down. It's certainly not a time for political point scoring. It's a time for huge review. My invitation to myself, to you, to all of us is, how can we now, right now, today, be more compassionate and loving to every single person we meet? I'm not naive. I'm not foolish. I know there's such a thing as people that have bad motives. I've been alive in the world for a while now. But what I also recognise is that it's incumbent upon us as individuals to awaken our higher nature, to treat people with kindness for so many reasons. We don't know what they've been through, and we don't know what we're going to go through, and we don't know how this ends. All of us are sharing this planet for a finite time. All of us have a duty to awaken to who we truly are. All of us have a duty to create communities that are a reflection of our higher values. If we live in a society that is built essentially on fear and greed and suspicion and doubt, and I'm not talking about the poorest people in society, I'm talking about the most powerful people in society. How is your nation governed? What are the economic principles that determine the life of the majority of people? Where is the compassion? Where is the goodwill? Where is the good-natured, good faith approach to one another? Of course, whenever you talk about significantly altering society, people point to its impossibility. This is the best of all possible versions. This is the best system we could come up with. But we've seen in the pandemic that you can radically alter society overnight when there is a germ threat, or when there is a terror threat. Well, I say now we live under constant threat. We live under a psychic threat, a kind of horror, a bio-horror of existence, where a significant number of people are living lives of absolute desperation, and the consequence of that is once in a while someone emerges and does something so ugly, so unimaginable, so cruel and so ghastly that we're forced as a culture to look at the event and to look at ourselves. I would reiterate the advice of the great pastor and teacher Michael Beckwith and say, this is an opportunity for reflection for all of us. This is a time for us to look at those directly affected and to consider those that will be affected again in the future if the world doesn't change. For me, the gun law aspect of this and the firearm stuff of this, I'm sure there are many, many opinions on that. But I think we have a deeper conversation. Why do people want guns? Why are people so afraid? Why are people so desperate? Why have we created a culture with so much inequality and so much suffering and so much desperation, where the sacred has been neglected to the degree where consistently, relatively regularly, there emerges a loner, an individual, but they're not loners and individuals anymore, are they? Because over time, it's a group, it's a phenomena, it's a thing that keeps happening. They're an expression of a deeper pain. There is more to reality than what we can see, hear, and measure. We know that in this moment, don't we? Because we are experiencing a deep collective pain. Nothing compared to the people that are directly affected, but a cultural pain nonetheless. What is that pain, and what lesson is that pain trying to bring us? Awaken. change, address this collaboratively, collectively. Let's look at our individual lives, our collective lives, our communities, our economic structures, our international relationships, our priorities, the way we treat each other when we buy a cup of coffee, the way we talk to our children, the way we talk to people we disagree with, our social media climate. Everything has to be reviewed, and you can only do that if you start with yourself. I am fortunate that I've lived a life where I've made many, many mistakes, and I've been given many second
Here,
chances.
pause it here.
Where I sit now.
Yeah, I think after that he kind of just like just kind of goes off on a tangent, kind of just tells people like to talk about it in the comments what they think about it. But dude, like, what do you think about that, dude?
I don't know. It's a lot. I'll be honest.
I'm talking more about like his point of view of what like he thinks like people should do. Or like his point of view on like the problem, like what it is, like how it truly, happens and shit.
I think it's kind of realistic a little bit, just because like, what can we do? Like, it's not like with the gun law thing, for example. He was saying like, everybody has different opinion. We should take away guns and all that, and I don't know. It's just like, even if if we keep gun laws like this, there's still all this is gonna be happening. But if we take guns away, I feel as though like, there's not gonna be like the people that are gonna have the guns are gonna be the criminals and stuff, because they're gonna find ways to find weapons and all that.
Right.
It's just like, it's kind of hard to, I don't know, just kind of ease the situation, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very complex situation with a lot of fucking angles, a lot of different sides to the story, or I mean a lot of different sides to like how you could possibly fix this thing. And if you go to like the roots of the problem, it always points back towards the systems that are put in place.
Yeah.
It's like you know how like people make that argument like the gun doesn't shoot, it's the person.
Yeah.
Like, that's true. I know that giving somebody a weapon that can literally take the life of another person is definitely, it's kind of like a scary thing. The fact that we're giving people the ability to essentially hold something that is so destructive that it can take somebody's life away. That's scary when you think about it. Like, they could possibly give people weapons that aren't able to kill. But it's like when the police force has guns, when the military has guns, okay, then I need to be able to protect myself if for some reason the government decides to, go in on us. That's why they feel the need to have guns then. Now, what happens if we have guns? Now we have the ability not only to defend ourselves, but we also have the ability for some reason, if something happens with our mental health, we understand that humans are unstable beings because of mass media, because of all these things. We have mental health issues. That is something that we're seeing again and again. People get depressed, people get anxious, people, you know what I'm saying? People can have mood swings, people can be bipolar, people can have moments of existential crisis, people can think that, all this shit happens, and what can happen then is they use the gun on themselves or they use the guns on other people. That's a problem. That's really a fucking problem that we need to understand. Like we need to understand, like, either we address the gun problem or we address people's psychological problems, or, like, you know what I'm saying? There's just so much shit that we need to do as a nation. And it seems like still people rather, like, think about other shit. People rather worry about other shit other than the problem that has been presented to us time and time again. How can we fix this as a nation? Collectively, we need to think, how can we fix this? But no, like I said, like, we rather just scroll through TikTok and see see the green light or whatever.
Yeah. And even like with your point, with all this happening, the upsetting thing is people are probably going to forget about this in a couple of weeks and think about, like, I don't know, Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp thing, or another, like, celebrity slips up or something, and everybody's going to start focusing on that instead of this. It's very upsetting.
That is, man. It's just, I think, let me see. The podcast is, we got an hour and 14 minutes. I think we'll kind of, like, we'll leave it off on this. I mean, this is kind of a like. So we talked about the Amber Heard thing at the beginning, and then we kind of ended it off on a more serious note. I mean, there's not much more that we can possibly say. We kind of like already talked about it. Like, is there anything else that you wanna say about this? Because it's a pretty intense and extreme thing. It's kind of hard to talk about this kind of stuff.
I guess the only thing I could say is, people that are listening to this who are like feeling just anxious and all that, and if you're like feeling down, there's always people that'll help. Don't think nobody's gonna help you. Somebody will help you in some other way. Don't do all this. Don't try to act like the world's ending. Oh, we're dead. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Let's kill people. It shouldn't be like that. You should try to look for a positive outcome. And I know, like, I guess I know what it's like, because I remember I was pretty down, pretty upset for a while. But I've started to look at better outcomes. I've started to work out. I've started to feel better about myself. Just doing stuff that'll make you feel better, and it will, just anything that'll help you positively, you should do. Nothing. I guess nothing bad. But like stuff that will help society and other things is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You shouldn't just think of all the bad stuff. Just try to try to look for help. Anything will help. There are phone lines, people that you can call, suicide hotlines. There's websites of people talking about how they feel and how they'll try to help. Anybody's out there to help. Don't try to think you're the only person, and the people around you may not be able to help you, but there's others. There's an internet. The whole world. There's 7 billion people that could help.
Right.
Like, don't just try to think, oh, these 5 people around me aren't gonna help me, and there's nothing else you can do. Just try to look for help, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Well said, because, yeah, I feel like one of the reasons why people get so down is because they isolate themselves. They feel alone in this world. Like, nobody can help them. Nobody can really, do anything. I mean, there's so many influencers online that try to help people. There's so many, like you said, hotlines that you can call. There's therapists that you can talk to. There's religious clergies that you can talk to if you're more of a spiritual person. There's just so many things that you can do. And the problem is people feel isolated, people feel alone, and they just kind of, and you know what I'm saying? And I feel like what we need to do as humans is, at the end of the day, you need to love yourself. You need to understand that at the end of the day, it's just you, nobody else. It's just going to be you and you alone. And you need to start to do things that are going to help you love yourself, or just love yourself, like love who you are, your persona, the way you think, the way you act, everything about you. Learn to accept yourself. Acceptance is really the only thing that we should be doing within ourselves. And understand that there's a lot of people that suffer and that they hate themselves and they can't accept themselves, and that results with a lot of problems. And we need to collectively, as a group, figure out ways to help these kinds of people, to help ourselves, and to help everybody flourish and develop themselves in a very great way, and to become like what Russell Brand said, become the best versions of themselves, become our higher selves.
Yeah.
All right. So that's gonna be it for this podcast. Thank you guys for joining. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below your guys' thoughts. That's gonna be it. I mean, kind of extreme. I know. We'll try to get the next podcast. We'll try to be a little less extreme. I felt like it was kind of necessary to talk about these things, especially because there's probably gonna be times where hard things are gonna happen, and we're probably gonna have to talk about it on podcasts. Or maybe we'll just try to avoid it. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Peace out.
See you guys.